Hi, I'm Lam. Welcome to my channel or welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are here to talk all about the e.l.f. Cosmetics, the new classics eyeshadow palette. I know this palette is not new, but it's new to me. Today we're going to do a full review, which means usually on my channel it's a little bit more lengthy. I'm gonna try my best to make it as short as I can. We're going to do swatches, comparison, formulas, comparing the colors with other palettes from e.l.f. and from other brands that I have. We're going to talk about how I learned to use it. There's a demo part where I show you how I do this eye look, and then there will be a final thought. I will spill the tea whether I'd recommend you to try out this palette or not. If you enjoy my content, if you like my video, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section below how I can improve the quality of my content, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell notification button so you can be notified whenever I post a new weekly video. Links to my social media as well as timestamps will be down in the description box. You just have to click on it, it will extend, and you will see all you need. With that mouthful of a statement out of the way as usual, let's get started. I'm using Ulta website to read a little bit of information and claims about this palette, and we will see if all the claims are true. It has a 4.5 out of 5 stars rating, which is really good, and it's 14 US dollars for 18 shades. Have you ever dreamed of your perfect neutral palette? Your wish is e.l.f.'s command. Meet the e.l.f. Cosmetics new classic eyeshadow palette. This 18-pan palette contains a curated selection of essential matte, satin, and shimmer shades to achieve any neutral eye look. The luxe formula of this neutral palette is smooth, creamy, blendable, and ultra pigmented for effortless application. We're proud to be 100% vegan, cruelty-free, because kindness is chic. We love that. I will let recorded Lam take over for the demo part and the hand swatch part on my medium olive skin. Let's see if it's really ultra pigmented and blendable and easy to use and luxurious as the claims are. You will see it. Let's go. It's gonna be a long one. Ha ha ha, this is recorded Lam taking over. I just completed my base makeup using this flawless finish setting powder from Charlotte Tilbury. Beautiful, very smoothing. If you want to see more information, make sure you check out my review. I'll link it up here and in the description box. On my eyelids, I already primed them using Urban Decay Primer Potion Original. Now, the new classic palette. What color should we use among all these beautiful neutrals? First of all, I'm taking the shade Cream and put it all over the eyelid just to set the eye primer. And we're doing a dusty look today, dusty rosy look. So I'm taking the Charmer shade and put it on all over the crease and underneath the brows just to add a little definition. And then I'm taking the shade Muse to deepen up the outer and the inner corner of the upper eyelid. And this time I'm going to leave the lower lash line bare. I'm not going to add the deepening shade like usual. And then I'm taking the shade Cosmo, which is a shimmery champagne, and I'm putting that in the inner corner all over the lower lash line and in the middle of my upper eyelid. Add some mascara, some eyeliner, and this is the finished look. It's just a very glowy, kind of simple everyday eye. And now I'm taking the Makeup by Mario's Master Secret Glow highlighter. I have a review on this product too, and I compare it with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, so make sure you check it out. And then I'm taking this Rare Beauty Souffle Lip Cream in the shade Fearless to do a gradient natural lip. And this is the finished look. Stunning. Now let's do the swatching. With this palette, I'm just going to do from left to right, top row to bottom row. Cream, truffle, darling, muse, noir, and now blank, uptown, charmer, which was the dusty rose shade that I love, earth, beloved. This shade is very weak and it doesn't look anything like the pan. Gilded, glamour, black cherry, Cosmo, rose gold, platinum. I'm trying to build it up. Opulent and downtown. As you can see, the mattes are very decent in the swatch, but shimmers, they are pretty weak. They're not the strongest shimmer I've ever seen, and this is the whole palette on my arm. Alright, I'll return the stage to Lam in the present. I hope you enjoyed that little voice-over Lam moment there. He sometimes is a little annoying, but I think we can all tolerate him, can't we? Let's do the comparison portion. First of all, let's compare the formula in this palette to another palette from e.l.f. too. Charmer and Cosmo, which is a matte and a shimmer. I will compare that to the e.l.f. Rose Water, these two shades to compare with it. The new classic two shades, and then this is the Rose Water. I am sure you can see that the shimmer formula in the eyeshadow quads from e.l.f. is a lot more metallic and shimmery. There are more glitter particles in this shade too. The matte, I think this shade from the new classic is a little more creamy. The one from the eyeshadow quads are more powdery. So it is a little bit easier to blend, but you will get a lot more kickback in the pan. And of course, they are not supposed to be dupe. I just want to compare the formula. I want to compare this formula from this palette to a more luxe formula, which is Natasha Denona, and for that, Uptown and the Shimmer Opulent. To Natasha Denona Mini Glam, I will take Harlow and Anjo. I know it's not really fair to compare formulas from a $14 palette to like Sephora brand palette, but I just want you to have an idea when you buy it how it's gonna feel like. The matte and the shimmer from the new classic from e.l.f. And then this is the matte and the metallic from Natasha Denona. Again, you can see the metallic in the e.l.f. palette once again is not as metallic and not as like impactful as Mini Glam from Natasha Denona. And actually these two have very similar amount of glitter, maybe because the new classic came out first, so since then maybe e.l.f. improved their shadow formula. I don't know, but I just want you to know what to expect with this new classic palette. One more shade I want to compare. Let's do Black Cherry matte with glitter infused shade. The quad, when you dip your finger into the pan, again the same for the other shades, is more creamy to the touch. The new classic shadows, I think, is pressed a little bit harder. So this is that shade from the new classic, and this is from the quad. You can see it's like way more creamy, and you can like keep going, while this one is like, oh, you can still keep going, but it's not as intense. Muse, which is like a medium deep brown, chocolatey brown seed from the Mini Glam. And Natasha Denona does have pretty consistent formulas in her eyeshadow palettes as far as the neutral ones goes. This is from the New Classic, and this is Natasha Denona Mini Glam. This one is a little bit more comparable, I have to say. The amount of creaminess. Mini Glam is a little bit deeper in pigmentation, in depth, I mean. Now that I have swatched all of the shadows and compared them to a few brands, it actually remind me of a palette that I recently reviewed on my channel. Link will be up here and down in the description box. This is the Rare Beauty Discovery Eyeshadow Palette. I think the formulas are very similar because when you dip your brush or your finger into the pan of the Rare Beauty palette and the New Classic palette, they are very firmly pressed into the pan, whether it is a matte or a shimmer metallic formula. They all are pressed pretty hard. And the shimmers are not very shimmery. They are softer in terms of the glitteriness of them. Let me give you an example here. I have a whole 20-minute long video talking about everything you need, but right now I'll just show you. You see how it's kind of like this, especially this pinky shade is so similar to this pinky shade in the Classic because of how hard they press the shadow into the pan. You don't have a lot of kickback and you don't have intense pigmentation immediately. It's kind of more buildable. I have to say my opinion changed a lot since I got this. This is a confession, by the way, so let's get serious. I actually bought this palette about 6 months ago. It just kind of stayed in the back of my collection and I never thought of it. And to be honest, I didn't have a good impression of it. That's why I kind of hesitate to film a video. But I'm glad I did that because now my opinion completely changed and I actually appreciate the palette a lot more than when I first got it. I love the fact that you have 18 shades in this one eyeshadow palette and it's pretty light. It's pretty compact for how many shades it has. I do like that it has matte, metallic, and shimmer shades, although I wouldn't call any of these shades metallic. As we can see, it sometimes can take a little bit of build up to get to the intensity that you want. That goes for both the matte and the shimmer formulas in this palette. You have some peach choices like this Beloved shade, Truffle, and Darling, and also Rose Gold. Those can help you create a more orangey, rose gold, or peachy look. You have Charmer, Muse, Cosmo to do a more dusty, rosy kind of a look. And of course, you have all of your transition shades you could ever think of for a neutral look. You also have like some greens option right here that I never use basically, but very interesting. Oh, there's another kind of formula in here that is the glitter infused matte. I haven't used this shade yet. It looks pretty much like a matte when I swatch it, and I actually never had good luck with this kind of glittery infused matte shade, so I tend to stray away from them anyway. The matte formula, they're not extremely creamy, and they're not extremely powdery either, and they're pressed hard into the pan. So when you dip your brush or your finger, you won't get a lot of kickback or powderiness going everywhere. And when you apply the shadows, the matte shadows onto your eyelids, it's blendable, but it's not super blendable like a more powdery matte shadow would be. The shimmer formula is kind of the thing that I feel a little bit like, oh, I wish there's something more to them. They are nice and they're soft, very suitable for a neutral look, and they are buildable, but I just wish they're just a little bit stronger. I wish they're at least like the e.l.f. Bite Size kind of eyeshadow quartz kind of shimmer. I would love that kind of metallicness. Again, I think that this is an older formula of e.l.f. and they since have renewed their formulas for the eyeshadow quartz. So I hope that from now they will stick to that shimmer formula, not this. At first, I didn't like the palette because I was using the wrong tools to work with them. So at first, I was using something like this blending brush right here, where it's very, very fluffy hair on here. They are not very dense. So since then, I have tried out a few different ways to apply it, including a finger is a pretty good way to apply the shimmer to get the best pigmentation. And when you are using a brush, I use a more dense brush like this one, because the shadows are pressed very hard into the pan. So using a more dense brush, you will be able to pick up more product at once, and therefore you will get more pigment onto your eyelid. And because they're pretty blendable, you will still be able to soften them out, and they will be softer after you blend them for a little bit, as you can see in the demo part. So that's a tip for you there. You're welcome. I'm glad this is in my collection and I'm going to keep it. I do recommend you try out this palette if you think that it is your thing after watching this video. I do think it's worth every penny, correctly priced. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope it's not too long. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of this eyeshadow palette and of my eye look today. Don't forget to give this video a like. I will see you in my next one. Until next time, please don't flop.